For section 16-1 work together, we first need to determine the accounts that are included on the income statement. So our assets and liabilities are not included. So everything above income summary is not included except for merchandise inventory. Merchandise inventory we do need to include. Everything else above income summary is not included. Then we get down to income summary. That's our dividing line. Everything below it is included. So we have sales, sales discount, sales returns and allowances. Those are all included in the operating revenue section. Next, we have our purchases, purchases discount, purchases, returns, and allowances. Those three are included in our cost of merchandise sold, along with merchandise inventory. Next, we have all of our operating expenses. So this is everything that ends in expenses is included in the operating expenses section. Finally, we have federal income tax expense and interest income. Those are included in unrelated to normal operations. So those are the accounts that are included on the income statement. Next, we need to calculate or show the formulas that are used. So first thing we need to do is order the formulas that we're going to use. So net sales, go straight from the top of your income statement in your yellow packet and work your way down. First, we'll calculate net sales. Then we will calculate net purchases. Then cost of merchandise sold, and finally gross profit. So that's just working your way right down the order. The cost of merchandise sold formula, we take our beginning merchandise inventory plus any purchases that we make, and that gives us the total cost of merchandise available for sale, and then we subtract our ending merchandise inventory. And that's the cost of merchandise sold. Gross profit is net sales minus cost of merchandise sold. Net purchases is purchases minus the purchases discount, purchases, returns, and allowances. Then we have our net sales, which is sales minus sales discount and sales, returns, and allowances. So very similar net purchases formula and net sales formula. So the first section that we are going to do and complete is the heading. So our three-line heading, starting with the company name, income statement, and then the date for year ended December 31st, 20. Then we have our operating revenue. So that is just a heading with a colon behind it, no numbers on that row. Then we have our sales. So these numbers are all coming from our adjusted trial balance here. So we have our sales amount, $505,000, and you're completing this box, less sales discount and sales returns and allowances. So these numbers are coming directly from our adjusted trial balance. Our answer goes right here next to it, and we subtract that answer from our total sales to give us our net sales amount. Our next section is the cost of merchandise sold. So we have our cost of merchandise sold heading, merchandise inventory at the start of the year. So that number is given to us in the instructions, $86,789.15. So we'll use our starting amount. Then everything else is coming from our adjusted trial balance. So we have our purchases, less any discounts and returns. That number goes here. We subtract that to give us our net purchases. Net purchases plus our starting inventory gives us our total cost of merchandise available for sale, less our ending inventory. So we ended the year with $81,000 of inventory, and that gives us our total cost of merchandise sold. Anywhere you see the word less, you are subtracting. So our net sales minus cost of merchandise sold gives us our gross profit. Step 4, we are going to be completing our next section. So we have our operating expenses. That is our title, And then we list out all of our expenses and the associated account balances from the adjusted trial balance, total operating expenses, and total all of them up. Then we calculate our income from operations. So we have our gross profit minus our operating expenses gives us our income from operations. Our next section heading is other revenue. We have a little bit of revenue from interest income. So we add that to our income from operations to give us our total net income before federal income tax. Then we need to subtract our federal income tax. This balance is coming from the adjusted trial balance to give us net income after federal income tax. The final step is our vertical analysis. Every number is going to be divided by net sales. So net sales divided by itself gives us 100%. Be sure that you always round to the nearest tenth. So divided by itself is 100%. Cost of merchandise sold divided by net sales gives us a percent. So every number here in the far right column needs to be divided by net sales and give you these percentages. Every number divided by net sales to give us these percentages. And that is section 16-1.